start yet?
Yep.
Hollywood has its stars emblazed on the Walk of Fame. In Cooperstown, the baseball all-stars have their Hall of Fame. Well, Temple Emmanuel honors its Jewish stars by bestowing on them the Howard Ilson Award for long-time distinguished service. And there's a placard in the entryway that lists all of the names. Since it has been over 2 decades since Howard Ilson, Alav HaShalom, passed away, let me tell you a little bit about Howard. He was an amazing person. Like Moses, he was very modest and humble, yet he possessed extraordinary strength of character. So this year's recipient is Marty Yavner. Now, I would not say that Marty is a regular at services. But I do know where he likes to sit, or where he used to sit. So actually where Alicia is right now, in the back row on that side. But occasionally he shifts over to this side, to be near the Dunkerleys. As many of you know, Celia Winterholer, may she rest in peace, passed away a couple of years ago. And we have put on that chair, which is vacant right now, but Marty was seated there, a butterfly, because that was the symbol. She always had a butterfly on her. And so I was thinking, on Marty's seat, sometime way in the future, after 120, may you live to be, what would we put on Marty's seat? Would it be a hairnet? No. Would it be a bingo chip from when he did bingo for so many years, along with his dear friend Ruth Brody, may she rest in peace? Or would it be a Cadillac emblem, because he always drives a Cadillac and he has that license plate that says YAV, YAV. Maybe that's what should be on there. Marty, you not only drive the Caddy, but you are a Cadillac of members, and you are truly deserving of the Howard Ilson Award. So let me be the first to congratulate you. And now, Barry Feldman, if you'll come forward.
You took my whole speech.
That's okay.
Marty, usually on the comic relief, but... And with that, you get to take home your very own certificate of appreciation. Now, I will show everybody this, and it's got wonderful calligraphy on it. The only thing I kind of, at first I was like, is that diminished service? No, it's distinguished service. You see that? But it does say distinguished. So anyhow, what it does say is it's in recognition and appreciation. The citation for leadership in and service to the synagogue and the Jewish people is presented to you on the occasion of receiving the Howard Ilson Award for long-time distinguished service for devotion to and involvement in Torah worship and deeds of loving kindness. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now
I can go.
Pass?
They took half my speech, but you're going to hear it again anyway. No, I never been in this lowest section. Years ago, we used to call this the pit. And I used to, as the rabbi said, I always sat up and back with my friend Ruth Brody. And when she passed away, I sort of slid over, and now I sit with Henry and Ruth Dunkerley. Go back to 4th Street. Many years ago, a friend of mine, Susan Goldstein, who at the time was president of the temple, asked me to do if I would do the yurt sites, send out the letters. And she said to me, you only have to send about 15 a month. So I said, it shouldn't take too long. I said, okay. Well, almost 40 years later, now we send out 50 and 60 a month. So it's really a lot of notices go out with the yurt sites. Also, I just want to talk about, I tried to give, you try to give something away and no one wants to take it. I gave it away one time, and the lady did it for about 2 months, and said, oh, Marty, this is so depressing. I can't do it anymore. She gave it back to me. Anyway, no, I also work and help with the Jewish leader. I walked into the building on Channing Street one day, and there was a group of people working on the leader, and I walked in and said hello, and I put my foot in my mouth and said, you know, if someone ever gets sick, I'd be happy to come in and sub one day. Wow. Now, every week I tell Mimi, I'm not coming back. She says, I'll call you. I said, I want to change my phone number so I'll find you. Now, I work, or I volunteer at, I call it the soup kitchen, 3-4 times a year. And I also work at the Kosher Hot Lunch program every Monday. Now, when I work at the soup kitchen, last time I was there, we fed approximately 140 people. And before we serve the meal, everyone stands, all the men take off their hats, they say a prayer. And when they go through that line, each and every one of them says thank you. And if you offer them something, if you say, do you want a salad or something, they all say please. Now let's shift to the Kosher Hot Lunch. That's L. Now, there are a bunch of yantas up there, but I mean, I don't cook the food. Linda and Norman cook the food, but I help prepare things, have a good group of volunteers. And so let's say we're serving chicken dinner. It's a delicious homemade meal. So you put the chicken and the salad down on a plate, and the lady says, I don't like dark meat. And the next time, you put the white meat. Oh, that's too dry, I don't like. And you give them cranberry juice, like, we have apple. These people go on. I'm always tempted to say, go to McDonald's. Anyway. I am very fortunate that I have a very loving, caring family. They in turn love me, and they support me in everything I do. It's nice to know that people care for you, and people look out for you. And my family does that for me. They always invite me to their homes. They always invite me to all their functions, and even just to come up and have a cup of coffee or lunch. I also have a very large group of friends in this community. I have friends in this temple, I have friends in Congregation Bethel, and also friends in Arva Chesed. Now, unfortunately for me, I live on a street with the rabbi. And I also live, Rabbi Sternberg. And I also live 7 houses away from the synagogue, so I'm right in the middle. Now, when they want or need a 10th man for a minyan, I get a phone call. Can you come down, Marty? We need one more man. For those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, in order to read from Torah or do certain prayers, you have to have 10 men present. The women in the Orthodox, they don't count. They can stay home. So anyway, this is okay on a weekday, but on a Saturday, he can't use the telephone. But he walks up the street and bangs on my door. He hits that door so hard, I think it's going to fly off the hinges. And no, on Saturday morning, you walk around, open the door, and there's the rabbi. He looks like a giant. Big hat, big black beard, and black coat. And he said, Marty, we need a 10th man. So, okay, I'll get dressed, rabbis. I'll come down so you can pray. So I go down there, and they're so happy to see me because I'm a 10th man. And they give me a prayer book, and they say, Marty, we're on page 247. I said, okay. So I sit down, and I begin to read the Hebrew. Now, I read the Hebrew. I don't know what I'm reading, but I read the Hebrew. And I read very, very slowly. By the time I finish one page, they're halfway through the service. But I go there, and it's a thing. You know, besides my family, go back to my friends. I have a special group of friends that I see and speak with just about every day of my life. And when they call me on the phone, the first thing they say is, how you doing? And are you feeling okay? And that really makes me feel great that these people, who I say they're part of my extended family, really care for me. And that means a lot. For the people who submitted my name, I thank you. For the nominating committee, I thank you. So hang around after services, we'll talk a little bit, we'll have a little nosh, and we'll go home happy.
That says distinguished.
Jonathan,